And so, my dear ones, here we are, another Sunday in July already. My goodness, wow. How that time of ours on this plane flies by. There's no doubt about that. And we're in this time zone now. We're in it for a great good reason. We're in it because we wanted to be in it. We're here because we said, yes, I'm really wanting to be there right now. And I think I can make a difference, let me go. Here I am. Send me, here I am. And so, neighborliness we're thinking about today. And this month is a wonderful month because it is dedicated to that understanding of what it is to find another way to harness this energy called freedom and to understand it more fully, because we cannot harness its power until we do. And today we're looking at that through the only reason why we're here, to love. And it always comes around to that again and again and again and again. Now, wouldn't you think we'd know that after all of this time, thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and thousands of beautiful beings on this plane sharing the truth of wisdom with us, that we'd be a little bit more awake than we are now? Wouldn't you think that? And it wonders me, as my Amish friends say. It wonders me. I wonder a lot. I wonder too sometimes. But now, it's such a ripeness of time. It's such an amazing, energetic ripeness of time right now. Yeah, in the midst of all the chaos. For you and for me this time, to move into the eye of the storm and not be buffeted around the exterior of it as of old. We can go straight now into that bullseye, wherein all is clear and all is calm and all is quiet. And so today, as we look at what it is to be a neighbor, now, we all have a different understanding of love, and we all have a different understanding of neighbor. Now, as many people as there are on this planet, there are that many definitions of love and neighbor. But when I was a nipper, as they say, when I was a youngster, growing up in a faraway land across the sea, a long time ago, at least 200 years, I'd say, in my schooling, I was taught in the catechism all the answers I need to know about my neighbor. Who was my neighbor was a question. My neighbor is all mankind, even those who injure me and differ from me in religion, was the answer. Now, little tots were learning this a long time ago. That's profound. I was still trying to figure it out. My neighbor is all humankind, even those who don't like me, in fact, quite the opposite, or those who differ from me in culture or in religion. That's my neighbor. My neighbor is every person. Not only is my neighbor every person, but my neighbor is nature, all of nature, everything. And what am I supposed to do? Love my neighbor as I love myself, as I love God, whatever I can see God to be. That's what I meant to do on this plane. Love my neighbor, love myself, and love my God, whatever that is to me. Learned it a long time ago. People have been learning this for thousands of years. It's written in every major religion that I know of, the same golden rule. You know, take care of everybody the way you'd like everybody to take care of you. You know? And I love that piece that's written in the Quran that says, you know, if you save the life of one person, it is as if you have saved all of humanity. Isn't that amazing? Now, I don't have to tell you what you already know and what you've heard just as I have heard it in some way or another. And yet, look at us. How is it that we can have stayed asleep for so long and not even begin to yawn yet in our awakening stage? And yet this is the time, and we are the people, and it's now. I mean, last night I came in jazzed because I heard the end of the 25th anniversary of Les Mis on KCET, and near the end they sang the resounding song, "Do you hear the people sing? Come and join us in our crusade," was the message. This is the time that people are singing and the crusade is on. But this can be a crusade of love. Love. I love the story that Monica shared with us this morning. It reminded me very much of the story of the Good Samaritan, which Jesus told, again, a long time ago. Again, I'll remind us that the Samaritans were very hated by the Jews. No time had the Jews for the Samaritans. And in fact, they weren't even supposed to enter into Samaria. And if they did, perchance, when they came out of it, they had to shake the dust off their sandals. That's how disliked the Samaritans were. And we are told a neighbor passed by. We're told a member of the legal society passed by, and a priest passes by. They all pass by this poor man that has been brutally beaten, robbed, and left by the wayside. And then a Samaritan comes along, and of course he takes care of the man, binds up his wounds, takes him to the nearest inn, pays for him to be taken care of, says he'll call back on the way and see how he's doing. My neighbor is all mankind, even those who injure me or differ from me in religion. What kind of a neighbor am I? What kind of a neighbor are you? What kind of neighbors do we have around us? And what do we understand of neighborliness? What does it mean? I think we're getting the message loud and clear with regard to the opportunity to dig deeper into that. It's urgent times now that we're living in, very urgent times, imminent times, with amazing opportunities for advancement, with amazing opportunities for transformation. I see all around me, we're all wakening up a little bit more fully. And we all, the people that I've been dealing with anyway, and they are many, seem to want to make a change, want to make a difference, and nobody I know wants to go back to the way things were, nobody. They want it to be better, and they want it to be better for everybody, for the world, for the planet, for every person, for every place, for everything. Now, how do you think that's going to happen? Well, there's only one way for that to happen, and it is for you and for me to catch that dream, be part of that crusade of love, and just to know the only thing I have to know is what's mine to be, what's mine to do. And I'll keep coming back to that, and you will too, because that's the only thing we can really focus on to make a difference. What is mine to be and what is mine to do? Well, I would say to you that the time for real spiritual activism is now. We've got to be active. We have to pray and move our feet, And the movement of the feet needs to be emphasized right now, because under every thought I have, there's an energy. And I have to move upon the energy. I have to act upon the energy, or it filters out and nothing happens. Good ideas are useless if we don't put them into practice. You know, time is very short. I even see it here. They're waving all kinds of signals at me right now, which means we're getting close to the end. And I haven't even begun, to tell you the truth. So much more that I have in mind, but here's what I leave with us all to think of and ponder about. Nothing's going to happen in the world if you and I don't become more conscious, if we don't become more awakened, if we don't become more mindful. Mindfulness is what leads us along the path of spirituality. And I know why Baba Muktananda said a long time ago, who was the head of Siddha Yoga at that time, he said, don't take the mystical path. He said, just don't do that. Don't do that. If there's something else, just don't do it. Because if you do take the mystical path, which is the spiritual path, he says, there's no turning back. You're not going to be able to get off it. There will be no turning back. If you want peace of mind, there'll be no turning back. And I can understand that. But you and I are not going to get there. We can read, we can study, we can talk, we can gather, we can do all of that. But if I, as an individual personally, am not doing my own personal work on myself, nothing's going to change. Nothing. Nothing will change in my life or in the world's life if I'm not changing myself and transforming myself and moving always in a forward, upward direction in what I'm thinking, saying, doing, and who I am being. That's the way it's done. So mindfulness is what's going to get us there. What does that mean in actual reality? Just means when I'm talking, talk. And do nothing else, talk. But be careful what you're saying. And make sure that what it is you're saying is enhancing life, is uplifting life. When I'm listening, listen, not planning the response to what I'm hearing, but listening, just listening, taking it all in, whatever it is I'm hearing. Listen. When I'm walking, walk. That means be alert, be aware, see what everything is around you and about you, what's before you, what's to the side of you. That's what walking is. It's walking meditation. All of our life is a meditation, and sometimes they're horrible ones. But yes, everything's a meditation. And when I'm in the company of somebody, be in the company of somebody. Be present to the somebody, not to everything else, and not to what happened to me before, not what's coming up, but be present to the person. That's how I become the still point. That's how I become interior in my way of moving through the outer world. That's how I access the inner power. That is how I am able to maintain my poise, my center, no matter what, in the outer world. Being. Not doing, and then knowing I'm not just a busy body or a restless mind. I am so much more than my busy body, and God knows, aren't we busy? And a restless mind, and heaven knows the mind is restless. What do you want, my dear ones? What do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Do you want to grow into that person you always knew you were and could be when you were tiny, and you knew when you grow up, I'm going to be whatever? Because now is the time for that to happen. And yes, right in the midst of all of this stuff that's going on. And some people say, you're kidding me. I can hardly cope and get through the day. And I say, okay, well, you've been doing that before. Now I can guarantee it, because if you can hardly cope now, it means to me that you've been hardly coping before as well. The thing is, you're powerful. You have the power. You have the essence within you. You are divinely imbued with infinite intelligence that is love-filled, light-filled, energy-filled. That's what you have going for you. Why would you not look deep into that? Why would you try and distract yourself with everything out there so that you can feel a little bit of goodness here and there? So that you can feel okay every now and again. Why would we do that? We keep doing it. We keep trying to find what we're looking for out there, when exactly what we're looking for is looking from within ourselves and is already where we are. So be excited, my dear ones. Be excited. Do you hear the people sing? Do you hear your own song singing within you? That's the question. It's time. It's time to put all the nonsense aside, to move up out of the inertia, out of that spiritual amnesia that's keeping us stopped and blocked from getting on with it. Don't you want to get on with it? Isn't it time? Isn't it time? And we can, as the song says, build that bridge, build that bridge, build that bridge. We want to be bridge builders that join gaps, that mend gaps, that bring everything together. That's what you are. A bridge builder, and the bridges are love bridges. They truly are. This is not pie in the sky or wishful thinking. This is the truth that sets us free, and nothing else will. And you will always be bound, and I will always be bound by the smallness that I have allowed myself to experience as a life. Instead of this largeness, instead of this amazing wholeness and fullness and incredible sense of all is well, because right where I am, divinity is, infinite intelligence is, and where that is, all is well, and that is where I am. That is where I always was, and that's where I'm always going to be, whether I know it or feel it or own it or not. Let's own it. Let's feel it. Let's know it. Let's be it. And let's get this job done right here and right now on this plane, so we can provide our children and their children and their children with a world that's safe and secure, with a world wherein we celebrate them and we grow, help them to grow into these beautiful individualized expressions of life that pours life into this world and brings it on to its next level. That's your job. That's my job. We're all parents. We're all midwives. So let's stop being squeamish about it and get off our spiritual derrieres and get up and get at it. And so it is. And so it is.